What's your AKA or artist's name?
Brother Wali.
Brother Wali.
Brother Wali.
Wali.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wali.
Tell us a bit about your place, if you don't mind, please.
What, Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Well, Philadelphia is a very interesting city. They refer to it as the city of brotherly love. However, right now I think it's leading the United States in death and murders. But I don't mean to put a gloom on it because Philadelphia is a really beautiful place. But it has its problems, economically as well as many other problems. It just has problems, but it's a really good place. It really is.
So you recommend people to visit, right?
Oh yeah, I would say. Well, it's not only that. It's where the Declaration of Independence was drafted and written. There's the Liberty Bell there. Many of the founding fathers lived there. William Penn, Benjamin Franklin. They're all buried there. You can visit their grave sites there. It's a very historical place as well as very social place. Lots of fine restaurants, lots of galleries, art galleries, great music. It's a good city. It really is. Great city, in fact.
How old were you when you first started?
How old
Were you?
when I first started playing the flute?
Or in the music?
I was quite young when I started in the music, although I didn't start playing the flute until I was around 13. But I was always involved in music in some way. I played percussion. So I've been in the music for quite a long time, as a young kid growing up. And then at 13, I picked up the flute.
Right. What is your first experience then with the music?
I think my first experience was in elementary school playing the xylophone. Well, not xylophone. They had these little instruments. You don't see them anymore, but they're string instruments, and you take a pick and you scrape across them. Oh. And you ever see those?
Yeah. I've seen it in Chinese movies. I
don't remember the name of them, but they were quite interesting. I loved them. And as a kid in elementary school, man, I used to get off playing them things, man. I really loved them.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is the first song you played?
The very first song, I'm going to tell a little short story. My brother was taking saxophone lessons, and he wasn't too good. He wasn't too good at all. I asked him to show me how to hold and play the sax, and he showed me, and then he said, "All right, you can hold it." And when he got back that day, I had learned how to play The Shadow of Your Smile, and that was my first experience with the saxophone. And man, he was so impressed, he gave me the saxophone, and that was my introduction into playing a woodwind instrument.
Nice.
Yeah,
Quite interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to play an instrument, but I've never been, talented enough to do so.
Well, you'd be surprised. Talent is in us all.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's just the form of expression.
Yeah,
of the
that's
talent.
right. That's right.
You're very right.
And we're all music, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, everything is art. Everything that surrounds us.
That's right.
It's either art in music-wise or art in any other sense.
Or any other form. That's true.
Because we all need to express ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
If you had to categorize your music, under what category would you fall, or would you like to?
Well, to be honest, to answer your question first, let me say that I love jazz.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't like to label music because music is music, but it's been labeled. But that's what we do. We label things. We name everything.
Unfortunately.
So, I don't know how good that is. Sometimes it can be problems, but to answer your question, jazz is my love and passion.
You love jazz.
Yeah.
Me too. I love jazz.
Yeah. But I love it all though. But jazz is my passion. I love jazz.
See. Me too.
Okay.
I love it. If you had an opportunity to change the musical industry, what would you change in it?
Well, I don't know if I would change anything. I think. Well, today it's more technical. Everything is technical. Everything is computer. Everything, even when it comes to the musicians don't work as much as they used to as a result of the computer.
Yeah.
Like, if you go into a studio, most of it's done by computer.
Yeah.
And so that has taken a lot of actual musicians out of the art form itself, and I don't know how I feel about that. Although I've done computer music myself, so you know, and it can allow you to be quite expressive.
Yeah.
So it has its benefits, but I'm more concerned about doing away with musicians. I think musicians need a place in music.
Have you ever recorded a CD or posted songs on the net?
I have never posted my songs on the net, but I've done several CDs. I had a raw food restaurant in Philadelphia. In fact, about 5 years before I came to Europe, and I did a promotional CD called Fruits, Vegetables, Seeds, and Nuts. But it was a promotional CD. And I had some great musicians, and we did some really good stuff. But I never really posted it on the net. And
is there any way people can access it?
No. In fact, I got one copy left that I'm carrying around with me. I need to make some copies. I don't even have it on my computer, which I'm going to do today. I'm going to remind myself to make sure it's on the computer, so that it's always there. Because there's some pretty good music on there, I think. You know.
If possible, before the newspaper is published, I would like to have like 1 or 2 songs to either post it on the actual online newspaper or...
Okay, we can do that. We can do that. I'll give you the title. I'll give you the theme title, and I'll give you one other piece. But we can work that out.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Who or what inspires you?
I would like to think that I'm inspired by God, or for maybe, I mean, some people use the term Allah, some people use God, some people use different terms, but I would like to think that I'm inspired by my inner essence, which could be God, you know, but I receive my inspiration and my direction from within, you know.
Yeah.
So that's
Sounds reasonable, sounds good, no? Because basically we all need to feel something is looking at us, something is there for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're very right. How do you turn negative feelings into positive ones?
That's a good question. I love that question because that is something that subject is very dear to my heart, because most of us carry negative feelings and expressions, but many times we act on them instead of annoying them or avoiding them.
Yeah.
You know, we a lot of times we think and believe that we are our thoughts when actually we are not our thoughts. We are something very different. And so for that reason, I feel we don't have to be negative. Now, when we have negative thoughts, we can disperse the negative thoughts by thinking positive thoughts. And to me, it's just that simple. So when you feel negativity coming within your presence, just say, no, I'm not going to allow that to be. I refuse to accept this negative experience, and I'm going to make something very positive out of it. Although I say that, but in reality, what is negative? I mean, if we have a bad feeling, first of all, is it real? That's the first thing we must ask ourselves, because a lot of times we think the thoughts that we think are very real, but in actuality, they are really not. They could come from somewhere else, in fact. Yeah. They don't have to be ours. You know, we can see something that creates a negative response within ourselves. So to me, we have to constantly be on guard to be positive, you know.
Nice answer. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
What advice would you give to somebody that has never left Gibraltar?
Well, it is a beautiful place, and I can see wanting to stay here and not leave, but I think that we should expand. The world is very big. I think the more that we see, the more acceptance that we have within ourselves, the more appreciation that we have for other people and other belief systems and other ideas, I think it's good. I know once I started traveling, it was an eye-opener for me, man, because it allowed me to see. And for example, when I came here, and I saw that the different communities that are here were working hand in hand with one another. That was very good for me to see. Now it's happening in other places, but I think they set an example that is very unique, man. The community here, and I'm sure there are problems here. I mean, there are situations and people may think that this is not right, but for the most part, this is a very harmonious place. But I think that we still need to expand our scope, and one of the ways to do that is by getting out and seeing other things.
Yeah, you're very right. What do you like most of Gibraltar?
I think the people, man. The people, man, are just such a beautiful, warm, accepting, friendly people. I know when I first came here, man, that was the one thing that just was so, I just gravitated toward. The people were so accepting, the people were so generous, so kind, and it has left me wanting for this place, man. I really love this place, I really do.
And what do you like least?
What I like least about Gibraltar, I think the blemish on Gibraltar is the border.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't want to say that I don't like the border, because it may have its need, but I strongly feel that it is the one blemish of Gibraltar is the border. The one blemish of Gibraltar is the border.
And of Gibraltarians, what you like least?
I don't know. That would be a tough question for me, man, because the people have been so supportive of me. I can't say that there's a thing that I like least about Gibraltar. I would have to think on that in probably many, many days, because I find the people so beautiful here, man. Well, let me say this, and I need to say this because this is important to me, because I have talked to different people who when they discuss Spain, it's in a personal way. It's all this Spanish, boom, boom, boom. Well, that I'm not crazy about, because I don't think it's the people of Spain. I think it's the government of Spain. I think that when I have had discussions with some of the people in Spain, they seem okay with Gibraltar. I mean, I'm sure there are some, but it's not the people. I think it's the government, and the government. And by the way, I'm an outsider speaking, so what I say don't necessarily have to be so.
Yeah, but it's your point of view.
It's my point of view. But I think that it is the government of Spain that has things in a real uproar. I really don't think it's the people.
And if anything was to happen to you, God make it happen in a very long time, but if anything was to happen to you, how would you like to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as a person who believed strongly and tried to live my life according to the idea that the kingdom of heaven is within. I would like for people to remember Brother Wali as somebody who lived by that idea that the kingdom of heaven is within.
Actually, yes, we all have to have a focus, no?
Yeah.
It's quite a beautiful answer, to tell you the truth. Is there anyone in particular you would like to thank?
Well, my thoughts go back to the people of Gibraltar, because let me tell you, when I first came to Europe, my idea of what I wanted to do, and I had no plans coming to Gibraltar. This happened by chance. I had no idea. I didn't even really know about Gibraltar, only through song. I didn't know it was a place like this. But I would have to say, I would have to thank the people, and all the people, the children, the adults, the seniors. I would have to thank them so very much, because they have helped me continue my dream. Because my dream when I came to Gibraltar, well, when I came to this part of the world, was to continue studying and playing my music and living according to my ideas that the kingdom of heaven is within. And the people here have allowed me to continue that mission, and I appreciate them so very much for it.
Any advice you would like to give to the readers and viewers?
I think we should all live according to the way we think the world should be. I think that's how we should live. I think if I had any advice to anyone, it would be to live your life the way you wished the world was.
Any other information you would like to add to the readers and viewers?
Well, I want to say this. I want to thank Ten, and I wish Ten all the success in the world. I'm really honored to be a part of the very first newspaper coming out, and I'm really thankful. I'm really honored, and I hope Ten has all the success that it desired.
Same to you. Hope everything goes perfect.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.